welcome to another edition of The Explainer. Really glad you're joining us today. We're going to take our time and walk through something that causes, well, a whole lot of confusion and frankly, a ton of budget anxiety for businesses of all sizes. We're demystifying the real costs of SEO content. You know, there's just this huge disconnect out there between what people think it takes to write an article that actually ranks on Google and the reality of what goes into producing that content behind the scenes. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's unpack exactly what you're paying for when you hire an SEO writing agency. Okay, let's dive right into this. It's the absolute most pressing question on everyone's mind right from the jump. You've got a marketing budget, you know you need organic traffic, but then you look at the landscape of agencies and freelancers, and man, the pricing is just all over the map. You might see one person offering an article for $50, and then an agency asking for thousands. It totally begs the question, what is the actual realistic cost to get this done right? Let's look at the numbers the industry data actually supports. So here's the typical price range for a single, professionally optimized, long-form SEO article, anywhere from $150 to $800. Take a second to just absorb that. If you've been relying on content mills, well, that might sound a bit steep. But remember the key phrase here, professionally optimized. We are just talking about a brain dump of words on a page. This price reflects a piece of content that's specifically engineered to compete in search engine results. Depending on the length, the depth of research, and the caliber of the writer, this right here is the realistic per article baseline you should expect for quality work. Now, contrast that per article price with this figure, $2,500. This is typically the starting monthly retainer amount for a fully managed SEO content program. It's a pretty significant jump, right? But here's why. A managed program isn't just handing you a few Word documents. It is a comprehensive service. It's the strategy, the calendar, the ongoing publishing, and the continuous oversight. When you're paying a retainer like this, you're essentially bolting an entire SEO content department directly onto your business. Section 1. Beneath the surface, the invisible work of SEO. Now, what's really interesting here is looking at what actually happens behind the scenes. I like to think of SEO content kind of like a giant iceberg. The published article, the actual words your customers read on the page, that's just the 10% sticking out above the water. That sticker price we just talked about, it reflects the massive, heavy strategic lifting hidden beneath the visible word count. To make content actually perform, a good agency doesn't just start typing. First, there's keyword research, finding the exact phrases your audience is searching for. Then there's search intent analysis, which is absolutely crucial. It means figuring out exactly why they're searching for it, so the article actually answers their question. Then the agency builds a comprehensive content brief, which is basically a blueprint for the whole piece. Only then does the writing happen, followed by rigorous human editing. But they aren't done. They've got to optimize the metadata, the title tags and descriptions search engines raid. They map out internal linking recommendations to connect the post to your other pages, boosting your whole site's authority. And finally, revision rounds to make sure it aligns perfectly with your brand voice. All of these tasks are baked right into that cost. Section 2. The complexity multiplier. Why certain industries cost more. We also have to factor in what we call the complexity multiplier. The base costs we just discussed can, and often do, scale way up depending on how technical or specialized your business's industry happens to be. Not all topics are created equal, you know? Writing about a local coffee shop is fundamentally different from writing about compliance software. For highly technical industries, things like healthcare, finance, legal, or SaaS, the requirements skyrocket. Search engines have incredibly strict standards for topics that impact a person's health or finances. Because of that, healthcare and finance demand deeper research and verifiable expert knowledge. A generalist writer just can't guess their way through a medical article. Legal topics might demand original research and case citations. SaaS content? That often requires deep competitor analysis and extra layers of technical editorial review to ensure absolute accuracy. So yeah, these extra requirements naturally increase production time, but they ultimately improve the content's accuracy, its value to the reader, and its ability to actually rank. Section 3. Decoding the pricing models. How agencies charge.
So, knowing all the work that goes into this whole shebang, how do these agencies actually structure their bills? It's really important to decode the different pricing models out there so you know exactly what you're signing up for. We generally have a divide in the industry. On one side, we have the word count focus, where you literally pay per word. And on the other, the outcome focus, which uses fixed projects and monthly retainers. I'll be totally honest with you here, paying by the word is a pretty outdated commodity model. When you pay per word, you naturally incentivize the writer to just, well, use more words. You get fluff, you get filler. It definitely doesn't incentivize quality or strategy. Steering away from that, the outcome-focused model is where the real value lies. Fixed retainers include the planning, the writing, the editing, and the continuous improvement. You are paying for the result, higher search visibility, not just a giant pile of syllables.
Because of these varying models, when you're looking at different agency proposals, you really have to look past the bottom line. You need to compare them based on actual deliverables. Does Agency A include those detailed content briefs and publishing support, while Agency B just, hands you a basic text file? Evaluating the overall value requires understanding exactly what is included in the service agreement. An agency that looks more expensive on paper might actually end up saving you dozens of hours of internal management and editing time.
Section 4. A long-term growth investment. Shifting your mindset.
So, the crucial point is this. We need to fundamentally pivot the narrative. We have to stop viewing SEO content as a one-time expense, like, buying a ream of printer paper, and start treating it as what it truly is, a long-term asset. When you invest in high-quality SEO content, it pays lasting dividends. Long after the article is initially published, and long after the invoice is paid, that page is sitting out there on the internet, working for you 24/7. It continues to generate ongoing organic traffic. It continuously produces qualified leads as people search for solutions to their problems, and ultimately, it drives sustainable business growth. It's basically compound interest for your website. Think about it. A paid ad stops working the very second you turn off your budget, but a great piece of SEO content, that can bring in traffic for years.
Section 5. The modern solution. The Jet Digital Pro approach. Now, you might be wondering, how is the industry evolving to deliver this kind of sustainable value efficiently? Well, the source material highlights Jet Digital Pro as a prime example of a modern, scalable approach to creating high-quality SEO content, and this brilliantly illustrates how the game is changing. They've looked at the bottlenecks in traditional agency models and found a way to streamline them without losing that vital quality control. Step 1 is AI-assisted drafting. They use technology to handle the heavy lifting of the initial outlines and rough drafts, which brings incredible efficiency to the table. But, and this is the absolute most important part, step 2 is experienced human editing. They do not just publish raw AI content. Strict human quality control ensures the nuance, the accuracy, and the brand voice are totally perfect. Finally, step 3 is continuous optimization. They don't just set it and forget it, they monitor and tweak. It's a fantastic blend of modern AI efficiency and traditional human expertise to build sustainable organic growth.
Which brings us to our core takeaway for today's explainer. As you look for a partner to handle your content, remember that the best partner isn't always the cheapest one. You aren't hunting for a bargain here, you're hunting for alignment. The right agency delivers consistent quality. They have entirely transparent workflows so you know exactly where your money is going, and above all, they strategically support your long-term business goals. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to ponder. As you sit down to plan your marketing spend for the next quarter or the next year, ask yourself, are you just budgeting for a cheap, one-off expense to check a box? Or are you truly investing in a long-term portfolio of organic growth? The way you answer that question will entirely dictate the results you get moving forward. Thanks for taking the time to walk through this with me today. Keep building, keep growing, and we'll catch you on the next explainer.